You're tuned into The Mag with Jane. Hey, how's it going out there? The time is 10:30. We have just listened to Ricky Erickson with The Interpreter right after See You and Retrovisor. After talking about all things retro and retailing, now I'm heading over to small business with Kat Paz. Today, I believe she's going to be talking about networking. Small businesses are the twitchy nervous system of the economy. If any of you have got a small business out there, you probably know, and it's pretty darn tough. But you can't just have an idea and then release it into the world and expect it to succeed. You need to work it. And Kat Paz is here to talk about getting your idea out into the world and telling people all about it. Hi, Kat.
Hello. Hiya.
Hi. Right. So, networking. Why do we need to do it?
It's one of those things for small business. It's like it's the devil of your life. You just got to do it. There's things we got to do in life, like waking up after the alarm goes off. You got to do it. For two reasons, it's cheaper than, advertising. But another thing, we are human beings, and people buy from people they know and trust. And people refer to other people that they know and trust. When I've been referred a few times, I can tell the sales side of things has been done because I know this person sitting opposite from me already knows enough about me, and they're comfortable with who I am and what I represent for them to actually arrange a meeting. So that's with a referral rather than, a walk-in. I rarely get walk-ins, but yes. A walk-in is kind of also ranking you with everyone else. But when you go out networking, you're presenting yourself. When you're a small business, you're a brand. And you have to represent that brand so that you can attract people that you want in your business. Otherwise, it's a bit of a slog. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just another face amongst many.
Yes, that's true. Or you get referred people that you don't want. So in a way, you're networking your market because in business, there's people that know your business before you do. So I'll elaborate a bit more on that. So let's say for us, there was your interview before.
Sean's still here listening with bated breath going, I'm going to learn something from this.
So I'm gonna face group that. So, your customers are people that want to wear dresses, but sometimes they not necessarily know you exist. There's other people that know you exist, and it's those people you need to talk to. For me, for example, as an accountant, I need insurance brokers, lawyers, people who know what I can do for others. So they know my clients because they talk to people like them, because we're not jack of all trades, like I said last week. So then the other masters will refer me clients in the Master of Accounting type thing.
So where do you meet all these people to network with them?
When I first started networking, there was this app. It was called meetup.com. And it's for everything, social, you name it, fashion. I'm on there for a lot of things. There's also Eventbrite as well. And they have reasonably priced networking events. So what I do is I found someone who introduced me to Meetup, and I just followed her networks, and I went to her groups. And that's how I started on there. So, I didn't know who to go to because there's thousands. It's surprising how big it is in Perth, actually, Meetup. And you go, some of them ask you to pay $15 because that covers maybe the venue and the coffee. And it also depends what you're there for. But if you are new to networking, go out there and get to know the type of networking you enjoy. Is it the one in the evening? Is it the one where it's just a sundowner and you're just having a chat? Could be that cup of tea. Or is it one where you sit down, it's a bit more formal, and there's someone presenting their business, but you still have a chance to talk to other business people as well. So those are good ones to start with, because there's no expectation, there's no membership, so to speak. So you're not forced to join, so to speak. Yeah,
because there are more really formal types of networking groups as well as these quite informal groups, aren't there?
Yes, so these ones are more informal that I join. I love those because there's some with women, and geez, we're strong women, have a good laugh. But then there's a few formal ones, and there's one called BNI, it's called Business Networking International. There's another one called SBN, Superior Business Networks. And those ones, yes, it's a membership based. But the the plus side is if you join, no one else from that category can join.
That category of work, yeah?
Yeah.
Industry.
So your industry. So as much as accountants, there's a broad spectrum. So then I would sit in one part of that and then another and another. So you can have in a group, for example, a family lawyer, a commercial lawyer, a wills lawyer. But you can't have two of each. So it guarantees you that space. And then the other side, which people would consider a negative, I wouldn't, and I'll explain later why, is you have to be there every week, or you are asked to find someone to be there on your behalf every week, because they ask other people to visit the meetings, and they call them chapters. So they ask people to visit the chapter meetings to understand what these networks are about. So the meeting is more for the visitors, but you never know what the visitor is looking for. So it's really important to have someone there representing your business than to have an empty seat, so to speak. So I don't see it as a negative, because I just think it's my business and I sure as heaven want to represent my business. And also I've been given the privilege of sitting there. So with things, I come back to it. It sounds a bit flippant, but I look at things as a game. And the minute I do that, it takes away all this heavy feeling of obligation and ick. And so when it's a game, it turns on my competitive streak. And then I'm like, let's do this. Yeah.
So when you tell us about changing the mindset, how do you change it to like, this is a game? Like, I'm going to get this many referrals, or how many people am I going to speak to?
Well, when I say this is a game, I'm just lightening the mood for myself. It takes the pressure off of, okay, I've got KPIs to meet, I've got all this to do. You will naturally meet those, I find. I naturally meet those by being myself. Because when you start to be too serious about it, you become someone you don't like. And then people can kind of sense when you're being a bit ingenuine. So when I say it's a game, I go to those meetings, I talk to everybody. I've got a mouth, I'm using it. So, and I've drunk coffee too early in the morning. So that's my thing. I talk to everybody, I get to know them. With networking, the key is to ask questions about them. It's that whole 2 ears, 1 mouth thing. So I only really use my mouth to ask questions and to make people feel comfortable, because they're probably thinking the same thing about you. So that's why people hate networking, because it is awkward. It's like some National Geographic show with David Attenborough describing the whole scene. At least it feels that way. So most people can relate to that, I think. But for me, you just ask questions, you know. What do you do is a very simple one. But, you know, a better one is what brings you here today, you know? Because there is a reason why everyone's there. And how did you hear about us? You know, because the what do you do is everyone's got to do something. Yeah. So you just play around with questions, and it helped me with my conversation as well, because I wasn't very conversational when I started my business, and I thought I was shy. I don't know why. But with the conversation came me asking, oh, okay, what do you do? And when you start those 3-4 questions, you enter into this place of, I know you. Oh my gosh, you do this too. Gosh, you love cats. Wow. Okay. You know, and you get to that relatability. So there's that people buy from people they know and trust. Sometimes it's got nothing to do with the business. It's just, you can straight away go, I think you're going to like this person.
Okay, so you're approaching it from a different, because I know sometimes networking feels like it's sales.
Yes.
And you're doing, you know, cold calling and hi, here's my card, I do this, I do that. But it's not about that really at all. That's not how you approach it.
No, it's not about dishing cards, actually. For me, my strategy is I don't actually actively give cards. It sounds weird, but it's because, you know, how uncomfortable it is when people go, let me give you a card, you know, they're literally nudging it into your hand. So I don't do that, because that is what people thought networking was. And you do meet people that think that's what it is. There's others who rock up and go, I'm really running late. Nice to meet everyone. And it's like literally casino deck of cards. And then they're gone, but no one knows who they are. So I don't do that. And there's LinkedIn as well, and I use LinkedIn quite a bit, because it's that online, but it's a different kind of networking It's online, but it's not like Facebook. It doesn't have an algorithm about how many likes you have or anything like that. It just keeps an idea of what people are up to. And it also helps, I set coffee meetings that way, and people find me that way as well, because a card can disappear. I'm paperless in my business, so it's really hard to track business cards for me. So I use LinkedIn, and half the time if I'm given a card anyway, I find them on LinkedIn. But if I like someone, I remember them and I find them on LinkedIn as well, and we connect, and it's really a case of, hey, I like you. And then it's up to them to accept your invite, and you don't get a response or anything, and it's nothing personal if you don't hear back. It's not like you get a no, as in this person declined your invite. No, if you don't hear back, you don't hear back, but don't make it a story. You never know. Yeah,
it's really interesting that you're talking about. You talked about sundowners and about LinkedIn, because people like Sean, who have a retail business, a store, just kind of difficult for them to get away and do these kind of networking events. That would be a big. Imagine. I'm just put your microphone on, Sean. How do you network now? While I've still got you here, how do you network?
Well, I guess speaking about something like LinkedIn, social media is a great tool, because, as you said, it is hard for us to get away from our store. Like, I'm a sole trader, so there can be times where 7 days of the week I'm working in my store, and I have a small family, so you're trying to get out to social events is difficult. So social media is a great tool, and it's just a really good tool at our disposal these days.
Absolutely. And you mentioned something there about time. So there's other people. I never make assumptions about people. I let them know my availability by saying, let's meet, instead of doing the ping pong of sure, okay, when. I move forward. I'd love to have a coffee with you. You mentioned a few things. If it's okay with you, I'm available on these dates. And I give them my dates, including Saturday if I'm free for that, because people in business don't shut off. I'm sure there's a lot of us in offices right now, because public holidays are almost like a gift.
Yeah.
No phones, no people.
Nice quiet roads.
Yes, exactly. So it wouldn't surprise me. But so if you ever want to meet someone for a coffee, give them your availability, and it makes the conversation easier. Makes it easier for them to also kind of reschedule, and also end it with happy to make it later if that works. And you don't have to meet someone within 2 days. Make it a month later. I mean, if you're busy, you're busy, and we can't always assume that we run our businesses from week to week. So LinkedIn is great for that as well. And always this beautiful lady called Cara Ronan, she does LinkedIn courses, and she was telling us that if you connect with someone on LinkedIn, customize that message. LinkedIn will have it for you, but it's impersonal. It just says, I'd like to connect with you or something like that. But have your own customized, hey, saw your profile, loved, what you're doing, would love to connect with you. And also return the favor and say, thanks for the invite. Looking forward to, us connecting more. It gives the people a reminder of who you are and what you do, and some things come on the phone, and you're busy, so you accept it anyway. Like for me, I don't judge, so I'm like, yep, I'll check it out later. But it's even better when they send you a message. Yeah, so just keep it at a level of as if you're talking to them face to face. That's what makes online or social networking a lot more fun.
Keep it personal.
Excellent.
Yeah, keep it social.
Yeah.
It's social media.
Exactly, yeah. So just to round it off really quick, when you're writing up LinkedIn, just write up your work history, whether or not it's related. Just write it up. Put the dates when you worked, your roles, type it as if you're talking to someone, and then go back and edit it. That's the best way to have some sort of content happening.
So it's all of it's like a CV. It's an online CV.
It's an online CV. That's correct. So there's nowhere else for it. So people want to know who you are, how you ended up where you are. A lot of us change careers anyway. And there's people who like people who've done quite a few things, because it shows that they're malleable, they're multi-skilled. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Kat. It's been great.